new exchange.
Cross-sectorial.
A harmony between human mobility and the nature.
Cooperation.
I think it's a great possibility and big chance for development of transportation infrastructure in Carpathia and in sustainable way.
Hope, solutions, integration, in that order.
Transgreen for me is mobility and ecology without borders. No borders for humans and for animals.
I would say toward consensus. That's all. You say one word.
I think probably the most important thing is just bringing people together, the relationships that they form across sectors. On the one hand, the environmentalists, be they from NGOs, from civil society organizations, or from the ministries, authorities, and also on the transport side. The role of NGOs for fostering integration. I think we have the same role as in a sense, the transport sector does. We need to meet each other from both sides. I think we have maybe some other possibilities than the authorities do. So we are in contact with a number of different sectors, a number of different interest groups, for example. But this is really the first time where we're taking a step back, or maybe forward rather, and actually trying to develop solutions before we even get to that point, so we don't have to get into a conflictual situation.
My name is Dmytro Tomenchuk. I represent Transcarpathian Regional State Administration Department of Ecology. In Transcarpathian region, there are around 60-70% of Carpathian biodiversity, and we are in charge to preserve it. And for us, the role of this project is a model and the expertise from our European neighbors, how to learn, how to preserve biodiversity and establish a good migration corridors. Transcarpathian region doesn't have a lot of land available for the infrastructure planning. We have some old roads, and for us it's really important to learn how to approach the new planning or reconstruction considering the protection of natural environment.
I would like to see all the countries that have not yet ratified the transport protocol of the Carpathian Convention to do so, because this will mean a real political commitment also for the longer term. And for us it's important because I think it will help us to make sure that the topic of sustainable mobility is mainstreamed into all the different sectors. It's not enough if we do it on the nature protection side. We have to do, in particular, tackle it from the transport side and from all the other socio-economic sides.
I'm looking forward to talk to the other sectors, especially to the transport. And the reason, because I think to stop the fragmentation and to help green infrastructure to flower, we need to talk with other stakeholders, and that's why I'm really looking forward for the results of the Transgreen. Sure, so I think to save biodiversity and to help green infrastructure per se, we really need to talk to the other sectors, and Transgreen enables that. We can go to the transport sector in this case, but also to local stakeholders. And we saw in some other projects that the reason to convince decision makers is when we show them that local stakeholders want them, local stakeholders really value ecosystem services and green infrastructure. It's a very good lobby tool. I think maybe it could help that we are coming from another sectors, that we are brand new and fresh. So that would help people who already know each other to give a fresh taste. And let's hope that they really want to talk to us too.
I think we have quite a good data set on which we can try to build arguments and so, but we will definitely need a lot of help from people to disseminate these results. And I think we as an organization we are not really the best ones, to have all these talks, especially with Romanian authorities. So I think this will be, from our point of view, this will be one of the major contributions that this project can basically bring. We also have a long-standing cooperation with the local communities and various interest groups in this area, especially with hunters and foresters. So I think that we can also try to act something like as a bridge a little bit between these two sides, let's say. I hope that there will be definitely like a transfer of knowledge between these parties, basically.
I guess the result of this project could be a good guidance for where what we can use. My company can use, for example, the planning of the road projects. Because nowadays I have still no collaboration with these other companies and other NGOs from other countries, but I can imagine that would be very effective in my work too when we could make this collaborations.
I think the Carpathian region is in a very important period now because we expect the development of transportation infrastructure in many countries here, and the Transgreen project is a big chance to prepare guidelines, handbooks and these things and to develop the transportation system in sustainable way. So I think it's a big opportunity and big chance for Carpathians. The incorporation of wildlife corridor into spatial planning is crucial thing for their protection. But of course, it is for owners of landowners. It's they have other plans with their property. So there is also big pressure against this, to put corridors into special planning, because if the corridor is in special planning, then for the owner it means that it is not possible to use it for building new houses and etc. So it's always big pressure against, and then it is a question of the law if we are able to incorporate and to go against this power. And the problem is that in each country there is another spatial planning law, so we have to adapt it. The implementation has to be adapted for each country because the law is different. I expect that it will be good opportunity to meet people, to speak about the problem and to develop new ideas. So it's a very nice opportunity for this. And for me, I am working very intensively with Beskidi mountain area, and so I hope that the result of Transgreen will help to protect this area. It can be useful for protection of large carnivores in Beskidi mountains.
Okay, I'm from Transport Research Center in Czech Republic, and we are looking for a new database about road kills of animals. And also we looking for some new information about protection of nature due to transport infrastructure. The database it's focus on the hotspots when we have to solve the interaction between transport infrastructure and the nature, where especially large animals cross the roads, and to help us to protect road accidents and bring more safety of road transport. Concerning this project, I think we know a new ideas or new information how to protect or make more safer transport infrastructure. And also we are looking for some best practices which show us how to develop a new infrastructure or new new objects on the transport infrastructure?
Well, here the answer could be a brief one or a larger one, long one. I believe that this project might bring a big contribution to looking for consensus. When some new infrastructure is looking for and so on, there are different interests, and I believe that the project will contribute to in this respect, which means to find a way towards consensus, which is important. Yeah. The answer has quite a long story. We came in touch with WWF a year and a half ago when our ministry prepared a project called Vistra. That was the Danube region transport vision. And through these discussions, we find a very good chances for synergies between both projects. And then we agreed that we will join both projects, support the ideas which are really coming to the common objectives. Unfortunately, Vistra didn't failed on a tender, but anyhow, so we are here. We are supporting this project, the idea of the project. And I do hope that some ideas we are having with the Vistra project, we will be able to incorporate in the Transgreen project as well.